I like Teferi as a planeswalker 90% of the time. I think we have to keep this, although it's not great. Yeah, Phantasmal Image used to be legendary Doomblade. The inverse cast out. Could even kill Geist of Saint Traft. Huh. Could be Storm, could be Blue-Red Breach, could be different deck. Looks like a Storm to me. Storm has been pretty popular lately. Someone earlier asked me like what's happened to Storm, but I've been playing against it a lot lately. I think the deck is just kind of good and popular. Okay, I will cycle a Typhoon for 0 because our hand is a little clunky. Yeah, I think it's yeah, well positioned too. Like the burn decks aren't playing Eidolon anymore, which I think is a pretty like they're not burn decks, they're prowess decks, so I think that is also a pretty good thing for the Storm archetype. Any good replacements for Tails in the sideboard? Dovin's Veto or Ceremonious Rejection. A split of those, I guess. For like 2 Veto, 1 Rejection or something. Am I going to make a 0/0 Shark again? I don't think so. Don't think so. No, I don't think I will. Okay, so let's go Basic Island, Mystic Sanctuary Path, make a 1/1 Shark, and then path the Electromancer. We'll love to pick up a Force of Negation. I think I'm just going to play a sort of... No, I'll play Teferi and hold up Remand. I think that's better than Sword. It's nice just to like turn off their Remands. They only have 3 cards in their hand too, which is kind of nice. Yeah, Remand's not doing so much against them here. Why don't I just Remand my own Teferi and put them down to only 2 cards in their hand? I think that makes some sense. It's just with 3 cards in hand, it's just not likely at all we die here. Not impossible. Feeling good about this. Yeah, I remember when we played the mono white Emeria deck and we drew all 4 Wall of Omens in game 1 against Greentron and we won that match too. Somehow. I think I want to put Baral and Gifts Ungiven in the graveyard. Give them Past in Flames and Empty. A little scared. But like Empty the Warrens is pretty beatable with Batterskull if we can find that. Metamorphose is kind of scary. How do I know which pile to give them usually? It's different for I can't really give you advice for which pile usually because every situation is different, you know. Like really you just kind of have to know how their deck works and what they're looking for at certain times. And it's you know, maybe I should have articulated a little bit better there. I think I'm gonna draw 2. Their hand is now Past in Flames, which we're like we don't currently. Maybe I was supposed to get Remanded back with Mystic Sanctuary. Nah, I'm not sure. But we needed to find like a Batterskull or a Stoneforge, and we found the Batterskull. We cannot, however, play this Batterskull and hold up Archmage's Charm, which we need to do. If we play Jace, Jace is just dying. Maybe that's okay. I think maybe this is okay. Could plus Jace, then Jace doesn't die. Sure. Yeah, I'll put the Ritual on the bottom. They have Pass in Flames. The ritual can go a long way. They want to win before turn 4. No, Storm can play the late game against blue-white. In fact, that's their game plan is going to change based on the cards they draw, but they can just wait and overpower us with their card advantage easily. All right, 3 goblins at Teferi, 2 at Jace. I'll block 1 that's attacking Jace. This does turn on Remand. Okay, I'll leave the Charm in my hand as a cancel. Just never found a Force this game. Let me brainstorm. Can still find a Force. Did not. I think that I am afraid of death here, and I think that we can just let Jace die and still be in good shape and have 2 counterspells up for a while. Like, once we find Force of Negation and can play Batterskull with a counterspell plus Force up, we're in good shape. But the fact that they have Pass in Flames in their hand makes me afraid enough to just be okay losing Jace. I'd rather find Force of Negation. So I want to shuffle the top of my library, and I think that I would want to maybe just bounce a token and cycle a Cryptic Command here. Now I'll make a Shark. I do think that they're out of basics too, so keep that in mind. Yeah, the Sanctuary is not that good in their deck. It's like, I think it's better for them to be able to play like non-islands, like the Pathways and the Canal. So the only card we know in their hand is Pass in Flames. I think I'll graveyard the Gifts and the Manamorphose, give them Vision and Pass in Flames. I like giving them Vision because it gives us kind of perfect info or near perfect info. Sort of Feast and Famine would be nice. There's Force of Negation, thank goodness. They reveal an Opt. Seems pretty safe now to play the Skull. Not too scared of this Opt. Yeah, the argument for the lack of fetches is all the scrying they do, but I also think you can. I don't think that you need to play Shivan Reef anymore. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like surely there's room to cut Shivan Reef and play Pathways and Canals and have a not very painful mana base. But they put 2 on top with the first Visions, and then they drew one of them and they kept the other one on top and then bottomed the card below that the other card that they liked here. But some people do play Fetch Lands in Storm, and I like to play Fetch Lands in Storm when I have Blood Moon in my sideboard, which is pretty often. So I think I just want to Cryptic this. I'm not sure that they're going to go for the other Pass in Flames here. If they do go for the other Pass in Flames, I might let it resolve and then just force the first ritual that gets played off of it or the Manamorphose. That way it just completely taps them out for sure. Of course, exiling the Pass in Flames is also very relevant. In fact, it's probably just more relevant here. They have a Grape Shot, which is very bad for us. How many tokens? Let's see if they won. Yeah, they're sitting 5 copies at the token. I guess this isn't so bad because we can just equip onto the Shark. If they're killing the Shark too. Okay, makes sense. So we could force this and save the Shark, and of course I'm always down to save the Sharks. Doesn't feel that necessary to me though. How much mana do we have? Bounce Batterskull, replay Batterskull for 5. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't have enough to bounce Batterskull, replay it, and And hold up Charm and Force. I think we can just like take three, and then get the Batterskull back. Yeah, I think the Force has a ton of value also, I should say, just staying in our hand. Like, look at this. We just... Now I'm thrilled, of course, I didn't Force. Not... Maybe this is a... I don't want to get too results-oriented here, but I think we just weren't under enough pressure to have to Force. But now we have won the game, I think. I guess I was supposed to get Fire and Ice because they have the goblins, but I was thinking pressuring their hand would be more important. But I think that logic was flawed. So their hand is Past in Flames mystery card. This is the mystery card. And this is just fine, I think, because we get to get the Sword of Fire and Ice now. Can bounce the Batterskull or just equip it again. I think I'd rather do that. I think I'm just going to target Charm. Oh, bad sequencing. Sorry. About to shuffle. Not a huge deal. So then their hand is Past in Flames, and then they'll draw up to a second mystery card with another Past in Flames in the graveyard. Maybe this game isn't over. It felt like it was. The repeal was a pretty good tempo swing for them. Am I going to do a modern Storm stream? I'm not planning on it, but I do have a donation deck option available if that is something you're interested in. I played Storm at 2 GPs. Did okay at both. And Legacy Storm at a couple other GPs. But usually for the stream, what I like to do is play decks I'm like brewing around with, I'm working on. GG. We've also, yeah, we've gotten rid of both of their Past in Flames at this point, so that is game over. Oh, I thought, for whatever reason, I thought that was a Sideboard game because it just went on for so long. So I don't like Spreading Seas. I don't like Tail's End. It does counter the Storm trigger, but they'll just flash back the Grape Shot with ease. Do I want the third Aether Gust or the first Rest in Peace or the second Gust? I haven't been bringing in Rest in Peace, but maybe I should. The first one's probably good enough to bring in. I will say the Graveyard Hate is super overrated against Storm. People think it's like incredibly important, but it's just not. It's not too difficult to storm off without your graveyard if you're good at playing Storm, and they will have answers for these cards post board. Do I like Legacy Storm more than Modern Storm? Yes. Ant is my favorite deck in Magic. Ant and Legacy. And I like Modern Storm, but it's like, you know, not in my top 20 decks to play. Yeah, I think Rest in Peace is super overrated in this matchup. But you can play one. I fired up an Innistrad draft last night, but it's not I thought it was Innistrad, but it's Innistrad block, which I don't really like those so much because you can't really capitalize on the draft synergies. What's number one in Modern? I don't know. There are a lot of decks I like in Modern right now. Miracles, Just Guy Wildfire. This deck. I have tried Cleansing Wildfire and Sharkblade, and I don't think it's good. You have like less mana sinks, which is pretty important, and Splashing Red is like far from free. Yeah, corporate needs to fight. Yeah, maybe I just like the same decks over and over. Am I really just slamming Rest in Peace here? Probably. This kind of stinks. Turn 2 on the Brawl on the play is scary. Alright, I feel more comfortable with the Force now. Kind of worried about them having Remand. I might just take the turn off to hold up my own Remand. Then maybe we can go Stoneforge plus hold up Remand. Although drawing this, I'm just going to slam, and this is like way more mana efficient. And if it resolves, we almost just win. Yeah, our draws have been pretty good, I think. And it's really good for us that they just have 3 mana and no counter spell or Gifts Ungiven. What is their hand, then? They don't have the kill, they don't have counter spells, they don't have Gifts Ungiven. Is it Empty the Warrens? Empty the Warrens is really beatable because we have this. It does look like Empty. Stoneforge even blocks a token this turn, yeah. This is fine. Batterskull is just going to be able to block these, I think. I don't think we need to force. So I guess we're taking 10. Blocking a token. Maybe I should have done math. Okay, path this, block here, take 9 down to 9. Then put in Batterskull, block 1, take 8, gain 4. Yeah, it's fine. How do I feel about Skyclave Apparition in this deck? I've been thinking a lot about it. I think that if you play Skyclave Apparition, you don't want to be on Archmage's Charm or Mystic Sanctuary. I think you want to be on like the other mana base that plays Castle Ardenvale and is like a little more resilient to Boil. And I think that seems to be an interesting way to take the deck. I've been like, I thought I'm not there. There are different directions to go with a list like that I'm unsure of. Oh my gosh. They wisely put both copies targeting the Stoneforge. Now I need to draw a land. Pog. I would play 2 or 3 Apparitions. Apparition is also nice with Teferi Time Raveler. I think this resolves. Fine. Your rep and play. If they do have 3 1-mana answers to a Germ token in their deck, we can just force one of them here. We're not dead to repeal. I guess my opponent multi-blocking the Batterskull is kind of interesting. Alright. Gifts Ungiven, concede. Fingers crossed. Seems pretty bad on the draw, but I also think we're supposed to keep a hand like this and hope that we're playing a slower matchup. Kenobi Taxes. I think Ponza's got a pretty good matchup against Uro decks. Most Whipspear decks are pretty good against Uro piles. I think Mono Green Tron is favored too. I'm not sure that they're... Oh, this is the Abzan Flicker deck. Cool. Is the reason you didn't force gifts is that I were worried it was bait and opponent already had repeal in hand? I mean, I guess you could say that, but like there's Rest in Peace in play, so Gifts Ungiven is so much worse with Rest in Peace in play, and the rest of it is also, what you're saying, that we lose to repeal if they have it in their hand. If they have, 4 different things they can get with Gifts Ungiven, or 3 different things to kill my Germ token, I still have Force up. And the Force has a ton of value to hold as long as you possibly can. I think I'm going to steal that Vial. Whoops. I really want to steal the Vial before it can go to 3. Have I ever played versus Pleasant Kenobi during a stream? Maybe. I think I have, but I can't remember what the match was like. If I have, it's been a while. Kenobi used to pop into the chat every once in a while. It's been a long time since I've seen him in the chat. I know he's a busy guy. Okay, I was really hoping to see no Flickerwisp here, and I'm glad that we are not seeing a Flickerwisp. Show us the tax returns. How do you have sushi money? Dude, this has been such an expensive month. Lester needed a treat. Teferi's like kind of a nice life gainy tempo swing here. I think I want to do this. Other options were Cycle Typhoon for 2 or Charm the Giver. Am I trying to get a better beard than Vince? I'm not trying to, you know, do the impossible. I'm not a miracle worker. We also went to, you know, happy hour sushi. Vince is not 21 or 22. No way. Vince is way older than that, right? Day donating $10. Thanks for helping keeping the modern streams alive and making my workday go faster. Great to have some consistency during these crazy times. My pleasure, dude. My pleasure. I don't, you know, I'm happy to. I don't know. It's always great to hear that people get a lot out of these streams, and it's very humbling to hear. So I always get choked up thinking about it, but it means a lot. Appreciate you. Okay, I think let's steal the Giver on their turn. I think if they have something like I'll do it on their upkeep, so if they have something weird like main deck Veil or Blossoming Defense, we at least have force up. Iceman Rob, Twitch Prime, good name too. Love to see a new subscriber, of course. I think Miracles is probably playing both Miracles and Sharkblade one time this week. I think Miracles is performing a little bit better, but you know that's like also right now, you know. The dynamic of Modern and Magic in general is that things just change so quickly all the time. Alright, if we bounce this Strangler, they're probably going to have a hard time replaying it. I'd love to draw a Stoneforge Mystic to Violin at some point. Okay, we'll remand that. I guess I'll get back Archmage's Charm and have my next turn be Charm plus Path plus maybe force the Coco on their turn. Yeah, I think Counterbalance is just well positioned at the moment. How many tournaments did I play Miracles? 4. If you want to find the list, Dur, you can go to Stream Decker. I went 12-3 with it on Tuesday this week, I think. 4-1 to all 3 leagues. The hardest working planes of all time, yeah. You're not wrong. Near, far, wherever you are. Rest in peace, Shark Typhoon. You're a real one. Alright, I don't have another planes in my deck, and I kind of don't want to get them black mana or, you know, white mana, whatever color they need to cast a spell. So I'll just pass here. I'll probably take 2 as well right now. Their deck is super weird. Did a shark cause a Titanic? I wish. That'd be awesome. Sorry to do you like that, Shark Typhoon, but you were the only blue card in my hand. I don't think Shark Typhoon takes it personally. Or at least I hope not. They have another Coco? Didn't play around this. Guess I should have. Things could be bad for us here. And then also now we have a card in Exile, so Wasteland Strangler can kill the Giver. Tide Hollow and Charming Prince to target the Tide Hollow? No, they're just scrying 2. They could have gotten both cards in our hand, but now we'll just let this happen. This is kind of fine. Or I guess it's like kind of fine if we draw Stoneforge Mystic. Maybe less fine if we don't. Guess I'm just gonna take a draw step here. Not ideal, not ideal. Flood is real. I would probably play Jeskai if I had to play a challenge tomorrow over Wildfire, and maybe over Miracles too. Alright, so Giver of Runes is down. So we're gonna go punt, I guess. I guess just definite punt. I forgot that they could do this. It's like their whole deck. So we could be going to 2 and killing a Charming Prince here, or exiling a Charming Prince. I am going to draw 2 off of Charm here. We can draw 2 off of Charm and still just hardcast Batterskull. So I like just giving myself 2 looks at Stoneforge Mystic instead of 1. Cryptic Command is also an out. Shark Typhoon isn't. If we make a 1/1 Shark, Stoneforge Mystic, yeah, we need to make a 0/0 Shark and draw Cryptic. But if we had pathed the other guy, we'd be at 3. We could make a bigger Shark, and this would be an out. So sorry about that. Going to game 2. Going to game 2. Very interesting deck they have. You see this like style of deck pop up from time to time. It's kind of hard to evaluate. I like these Azurius cards. Kind of like to play 2 Force of Negation, perhaps. 2 Time Ravelers. Don't think I want Tail's End or Gust or Condemn. Hey Major, how's it going? I know that's not how you pronounce your name at all, but I'm having a hard time tackling that. This is not a pronunciation stream. When am I going to play Historic? I don't know. I actually fired up Arena last night while I was watching the debate just to have something to do, but I didn't actually play any matches of Arena. But I don't know, the barrier to entry for me to get into Historic is so high because I don't have an Arena collection. So what it would take is Wizards giving me one of those early access accounts to stream Standard on the first day, which I would do. I guess I need to apply for the content creator thing. But the thing about every time when I looked into the content creator program, it's like to get in you have to stream Arena, but the only way I would with the content I make stream Arena is like stream just like that first day. So I don't know, it doesn't seem all that worth it to me. As soon as someone redeems 1,000,000 points, I guess. Honestly, like if I get played 1,000,000 points to play Historic, I hope that you have like a Historic account. You know, you've got the cards for me because it'd be hundreds of dollars to play it for me. Yeah, the content creator program is the Arena program, which is fine. You know, Wizards can promote their game however they want. It just, I think they are leaving money on the table, you know, advertising revenue on the table by not rewarding other types of content. I guess we want to steal the Vial. Let me see if they Vial in a 1-drop. But we have a Stoneforge Mystic in our hand, so seems like some good value. I have no idea who has the most channel points in my stream. If there is a view to see who has the most points, I don't know how to use it. Yeah, I was worried about this. Not the end of the world. Yeah, Beasant might have the most because Beasant is my only tier 3 sub. Yeah, it doesn't make a ton of sense to me for Wizards to, you know, leave money on the table like they are, but whatever. I'm not the decision maker. I like to keep that information private, MM. Thank you. That's pretty scary. It's also pretty scary if they have Path to Exile. I think that we are supposed to do this, though. And if they want to keep their Flicker Wisp, they have to have Ephemerate or Chump Block. They decide their Displacer is more valuable than Flicker Wisp. We could maybe Spreading Seas them off colorless mana too. Alright, with the Vial ticking up to 2, it's unlikely Spell Snare is going to get any work done here. We'll see. I have no idea either. If 100,000 channel points is crazy. I think the most channel points I have in a person's stream is like maybe 30k in the Sieve stream. I feel like that's a lot. Yeah, protection is not indestructible, but not sure exactly what we're referencing with that. Skirmin has 132k. It's pretty good. Well, Skirmin is only here for the Dark Souls streams, of course. Dalton has 275. It's interesting. You know, that's kind of why I set the, you know, initially, and also I guess still to this day, you know, I kind of view channel points as being a bit of a meme, and that's why some of these rewards are so ridiculous. But I will honor them if you get there. Spirit Walker has redeemed a pet Athena, who was napping last time I checked in on her. Let me see if she still is. Athena, come here. Athena, come here. Alright, so let's just go to the next phase. Make our opponent use the Displacer. If we attack, they're just going to give protection from white here. Maybe that's fine. They might be afraid. No, if we attack, they just have like decent attacks themselves. Yeah, she's not coming. She's still asleep. Could a mod redeem Spirit Walker's channel point redemption? And then let me know when you've done that, please. I do think channel points are like in general good for Twitch, and it is nice to have like a tool that, you know, helps you keep engaged. Thanks, Jethro. I haven't had a hat redemption in a while. A chest. All right, I think I have the big hat. There's the wig is also around here right now. Sure, numbers, sure. Dealer's choice. I'll do the big hat. Give me a second. What is this? Oh no, this is... Damn it. This is bad for us, is what it is. At least they're not killing the shark, I suppose. They're also about to untap with Double Giver. They also have no cards in their hand and no colorless mana. They also have 2 Canopy lands. Interesting draw. Are you supposed to hardcast? So options are hardcast, equip Batterskull, Spreading Seas, see what we draw. Spreading Seas is kind of appealing because they have 2 Canopy lands. I think this is their play. I'm going to attack 2, I think. Maybe this attack is loose, but they're about to untap with Double Giver. Oh, they just have a Giver here. What am I doing? I don't know why I thought that one was summoning sick too. Alright, bad attack. Big Magic Salvia, hell yeah. What are the terms and conditions of the Make a Life Decision redemption? So, if you've ever played D&D, the wish spell is only as powerful kind of as the DM requires it. So, we can talk about it, you know. We'll figure it out. But it's not unlimited power. All right, let's draw some cryptic commands. Drawing a land off the top is bad, into a land. We're just done on board. We chump block here and take 8. Do you think I'd ever play the Dragonblade deck again? I think it's good enough for FNM. I mean, the Dragonblade deck is just this deck, but playing Ojutai instead of Jace, and I think Jace is better. Alright, definitely keeping this on the draw. I mean, Ojutai is not embarrassingly bad. I know it's not a glowing review, but it's not embarrassingly bad. Oh, I see. A man of culture. Spreading Seas might even just be bad for us here. There's like 4. Yeah. Jace is pretty good against 8 rag. I think we let Thirst resolve. Feels kind of bad. I do usually beat Mono Blue Tron, but it is also usually a hassle. Discard Mine and Power Plant. They need another Mine to have Tron, so this, you know, is kind of implying they have another one, or maybe somehow they're just totally off of it. Expedition map is okay. This is just kind of the perfect hand. It's all Shark Typhoons and counter spells. Love everything about this hand. Alright, they discarded a power plant, so I'll target this power plant with the second Spreading Seas. I don't mind fighting over this either because we have Force. But I do mind that if we Force on their turn like a Karn, we'll probably have to pitch Shark Typhoon, which of course I never like doing. They're going to Remand my Spreading Seas. Okay, I'll just cast it again. Yeah, Spreading Seas I think is just great in this deck. I think main deck land interaction for a fair deck is super valuable. Hey, Koji. Because of my admiration of Shark Typhoon, I have to ask, what are your opinions on the first Sharknado, and have I watched it drunk? I have never seen it. Maybe I should watch it. Maybe I should watch it, but I could do a group watch party, a stream watch party of the first Shark Typhoon. Kind of sounds fun. No worries, Koji. I'm just happy you're here. There is no pressure to sub. Alright, let's make a 3/3 Shark. Yeah, group watch party of Sharknado would be kind of fun. I'll think about it. I can't do it like this week or anything like that. My my best friend's wedding is this weekend, and I'm the best man. It's a lot of mana to cast a threat into. Simon, thank you for gifting a sub to Koji. Very nice of you. And now you're subscribed, Koji. Hell yeah. And I mean, this is some kind of Dota name. But I appreciate that you're subscribed. I'd love to see a subscriber. Every time I say I've never played Dota, people are like, you've never played Dota? New Year's stream? Maybe. That sounds fun. I'll do something fun. I'm not committing to this, but I have been thinking about doing another subscriber tournament soon. I'm thinking about having it be RTR Innistrad standard. Or maybe like a different modern ban list or no ban list modern. We'll see. And an anonymous gifter is gifting a sub to Schmappalism, paying it forward. Very cool. Hype train about to leave the station. Choo choo. If we draw a land, we can Stoneforge and smack him with a Sword of Feast and Famine, which is really good. Yeah, I know Dalton's just super duper down for the RTR Innistrad Standard tournament. Me and Dalton like play RTR Innistrad Standard together still. Alright, that chest is fueling the scam train enough to get it out of the station. What was this about no ban list modern? Just like this last summer when I, as kind of a celebration for me transitioning to full-time streaming, we did a subscriber-only no ban list modern tournament. And it was a lot of fun. We had like 40 or 50 people play. It was a good time. Kind of just want to let this resolve. But it's also like pretty crypticable. Scam trade me, daddy, of course. My pleasure. But yeah, so I don't think I want to just only ever do no ban list modern if we're gonna do these things, biannually or annually, or maybe just like whenever. But I really like RTR Innistrad Standard. I think was the best standard format ever. It is like one I could commentate and be pretty knowledgeable on, which is fun. Although I do think that it would be people in chat would be less interested in that than they would be in maybe like no ban list modern again or something else. What won no ban list? Miracles. Miracles won no ban list modern. Only decks that have been played on stream? I don't think so. So like one thing I liked about no ban list modern was that I've never touched no ban list modern, and I don't really have too much interest in playing no ban list modern, and so it kind of lets you guys be the brewers. It lets you guys show off your deck building skills. But if you only played decks I made, I feel like that's, less fun for you guys. The anonymous gifter gifting 5 more subs. I appreciate you, whoever you are. Breezy Day, Georgia Monty, Lose Round 1, FP Worth, and Ryan Possible. Welcome to all of you. Maze Tome is really good here. I'm not sure that we have the luxury to force it though. Yeah, I think we just can't let them, draw 4 cards. You want to do a normal modern tournament? We could just do that, yeah. Sounds maybe what we should do. But I feel like if people in my chat who, people like my decks a lot, wouldn't it be maybe a super representative of what modern is like tournament? I think we can play Stoneforge here. Seems kind of safe. Yeah. A modern tournament would be just all like miracles and blue-white decks, and then someone would be smart enough to play Tron and they'd win. If you guys remember like Worlds, back when that was a thing, I guess. Although maybe it still is a thing. Maybe I was supposed to dispute that. If you guys remember Worlds, for a few years in a row, Worlds was comprised of like 80% Abzan decks for like 2 or 3 years in a row. And the modern portion of Worlds was like 80% Abzan, and then like the tournament that Brian Braun to win won is like 80% Abzan and like 10% Bant Eldrazi and then like 10% other decks. Huh. I want to remand this, and if they just replay it, I think that's fine. We can smack them with the sword, and then they discard a card, and then if they want to spend... Oh, this also gives them Tron. I think I still remand. Yeah, but sorry, I lost my train of thought. But if at that tournament anybody had just brought mono green Tron, they would have won the tournament. But I don't know how no one had the read that the entire room was going to be on Abzan and E-Tron, which mono green Tron just crushes. Or sorry, Abzan and Bant Eldrazi, which mono green Tron just crushes. I'm just not sure how nobody had that read. And it was like 2 years in a row too, maybe 3. The anonymous gifter keeps on being very generous. Frexia22 has been gifted a tier 1 sub. I do appreciate you, buddy. You're gonna condescend my Remand? Sure. Mono Green Tron should never win any tournament. If anybody had registered Mono Green Tron at that tournament, they would have won very easily. And it's always it just really has shocked me that nobody ever did for that tournament or those kind of tournaments. Do I think there's a bias pro players have against Tron because it's not a feel smart deck? Yes, absolutely. You know, pro players like to play decks where they get to make a lot of decisions. And that's fine, but it's also just, you know, that doesn't mean it's always going to be the best choice for a tournament. I think I'm fine just, you know, taking the kind of 2 for 2 here. I guess 2. So we get a third card because they have to discard a card here, but then they get rid of the Spreading Seas as well. It's kind of a 3 for 3, but Spreading Seas is a 2 for 1. I don't know. I mean, Spreading Seas is definitely important here. Yeah, drawing Tails in would be so good. Isn't there a well-known SCG grinder who wins a lot with Tron? There's a few, like Tan and Grace. I know Jim Davis plays a lot of Tron. Like, Tron just is a really good deck, and a really good deck for a lot of tournaments, too. And also, Mono Green Tron is probably especially good in... I just can't help myself. Let's try to find Tails End. This is not correct when they're about to untap with Tron. Just not correct at all. But I just wanted to find Tails End so bad. But yeah. Star City Games events also tend to be like full of grindy decks in modern tournaments in my experience. Like they just love to play grindy mid-range decks that are not usually very indicative of like what the rest of modern looks like, you know. Can't dispute that. A chest. Level 3 Scamtron. Hell yeah. How many bits is that? 700. Thanks, buddy. You've been killing it with the morning intros for sure. And we're just dead if we hard cast Shark Typhoon. We don't have very many answers to this. I'm gonna try to cycle into Spreading Seas. I mean, that can tuck Walking Ballista, and I think we're like, you know, technically not dead, but still in really bad shape. Oh, damn it. Okay, I'll concede. Yeah. When I cast the Archmage Charm, I said this is not correct. But I just wanted to Tails in the trigger so badly. And it did cost us the game. I think that's fine. How do I feel about Tron in this meta with wildfires running around? I think Tron is fine. I think Tron's like pretty good against the Uro piles, and like sideboard wildfires I think are, you know, not anywhere close to unbeatable for mono green Tron. It's like Assassin's Trophy, Wildfire, Damping Sphere. All these cards are good against Tron, but none of them just beat the deck. Kind of weird to give them blue mana, because like they could just not have a blue source, and then Teferi will be really good against them. Was this hat always in the arsenal? This has been like the primary hat the whole time, really. I think I like jamming Teferi in this spot because we have just such a threat-heavy hand, and they can't like untap and play Karn to punish us for jamming here. Do you think an uptick in prowess makes Tron a little worse? Absolutely. However, at the same time, the prowess decks are kind of like trying to out mid-range each other right now. They're trying to like I mean, the trophy leaders, you know, prowess deck is main decking Blood Moon, but is also like a much slower kind of mid-rangey version of prowess compared to like the hyper aggressive ones you can see sometimes. Yeah, it's a pretty ridiculous hat. When I bought this hat for Esther, I didn't think that I'd actually, be buying it for myself. I'm gonna play the spread. I'm gonna play the Field of Ruin because I actually just don't want them to fight over this too hard. If that makes sense. That was a pretty good draw, I think. I would dispute a Thirst in this spot. All right, so don't think it matters too much which one of these we target with Field of Ruin. I guess we could also make a 1/1 Shark. That gives us a better chance of hitting a land drop. And they aren't guaranteed to have Tron next turn. And if they do have Tron next turn, we should be able to like counter what they play and then Field of Ruin at least. We've already gotten 2 of their 3 power, or 2 of their 4 power plants. See, we can Teferi and then Dovin's and then Dispute. A Condescend but not a Remand. I guess I'll play Stoneforge Mystic instead. Can Esther redeem points IRL when I'm offline? Esther just can, you do whatever she wants. I'll do anything to make that girl happy. She has infinite channel points as far as I'm concerned. But don't tell her that. Because she'll use them to marry me. So we can Field of Ruin them off of Tron. That's pretty bad against Karn the Great Creator, though. And like they'd have to have the 3rd power plant naturally, which they do. Tilt. Feels so bad. I don't think Sharkblade is my favorite modern deck right now. I do think it's pretty good. They put 2 cards on top with the Condescend, but we can shuffle those away with Field of Ruin. Not sure what they're getting here. Maybe an Ensnaring Bridge? Coding. I feel like Coding's just not that good here. Maybe it's fine. I guess it is good, huh? All right, this is the 3rd power plant. I'll be maybe a little tilted if they have the 4th one naturally. Just a tad. I liked it. So if we draw a land, we can hold up Cryptic. But now we can't hold up Cryptic Command since if we try to hold up Cryptic Command, they'll just kill a land and then go to their 2nd main. So let's go Jace, Brainstorm, hoping to find Force of Negation. We found 2. Untilt. Any opinion on where E-Tron stands right now? I think if you're really good at it, the deck is fine. I've seen people who are good E-Tron players still playing the deck and succeeding with it. Yeah. I mean, we had to do it when we did because of we couldn't activate the Hallowed Fountain after the coding resolved, but it worked out well for us for sure. Okay, I'll force this. What's going on? Why can't I force this? Must be some kind of bug. So we can bounce the Ballista if we want to. And then that guarantees we get to hit Karn for 1. Yeah, I'm joking. I know that Force of Negation can't counter Walking Ballista. It was a joke. It was just a prank. And then, so we can bounce the Ballista, then counter it on the way down and bounce the Karn. We lose our white mana though, which kind of stinks. But we can still put in sort of Feast and Famine after they target the Hallowed Fountain. This is fine. Also, if they just kill Jace here, we get to attack Karn down. Bounce coding for force, like with Teferi Time Raveler, maybe. Kind of like this. I like bounce the ballista, don't attack. Let them kill my Hallowed Fountain. Oh, they're letting their ballista die. Huh. I think we still let them kill the Hallowed Fountain, and then with that mana put in the Sword of Feast and Famine, and then counter whatever they do and bounce Karn, and then force Karn again if they replay it. Why not bounce with Teferi? I think this line is really, really good and like is very defensive and is hard for them to beat is the main reason. But playing 5 mana Teferi into open blue mana also I think is the worst option available to us maybe. We were supposed to keep Fun Raveler since that actually let us play it pre-combat here. It's probably not a big deal. I do need to get back Cryptic Command here so we don't lose to Academy Ruins back Walking Ballista. And then we can cycle Typhoon with this floating mana into that. So just be mono blue control for a bit. So there is Karn the Great Creator mystery card. They discard their mystery card, which was just a basic island. Make a 4/4 shark, and now we have Cryptic plus Force up. I don't think Academy Ruins is that big a deal. I think that we could just answer a Walking Ballista every turn. Like even just like slapping a sword on the shark beats Walking Ballista here, I think. And here, if they play Karn, they have to spend like 3 mana on their turn to get back Ballista, and then their Ballista's not even that big, and all we have to do is find another counter spell. We could Tails in the Academy Ruins activation. Okay, they pack it up. Let's play some Blue-Ray Breach. Maybe. Our opponent has revealed Luris of the Dream Den. They decided to keep their 7. Could play Raid Shadow Legends. Unironically, have been contacted by Raid. I said no. I do use NordVPN and Nord password protection. Don't fetch here because you don't want to let them play Scourge on turn 2. Although, now we drew a Spreading Seas. I'll just cast this. I do use NordPass. I like them. But they haven't reached out to me for a sponsorship. You know, what I'm probably shouldn't be bringing this up again because it usually derails the conversation. But, you know, what I'm looking for in a sponsorship, and I, you know, have been reaching out to people lately, is, you know, kind of like a long-term partnership rather than just like kind of a one-time make some money and get out opportunity. Because I think that, you know, in the short term, you do the Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship and you get some money, but it is also just a little worse for your stream content and quality overall. And, you know, sacrificing content even for a day is detrimental to like the health of the stream. And I don't think, you know, the short-term money outweighs that. Second Shadow is really, really good here. I'm trying to get on Tempo Storm like Caleb D. I don't know what Tempo Storm is. I see people who are on Tempo Storm. But honestly, I don't really want to be on a team, I guess. Like a team of streamers. I think unless you're like already really, really big, like Caleb D is, it usually isn't like that worth it to you. And a lot of times if you're a smaller streamer and you try to get on a team, it can be your name can kind of just get lost in the middle of all the other names, I think. If that makes sense. Yeah, nice Grixis shot. Let's just draw Spreading Seas off Teferi. No. Oh my goodness. They tapped for blue, and I thought that they had I thought for sure they had Stubborn Denial here. Jeez. All right, let me just draw a card. I guess I bounce Spreading Seas. We just this digs us one card deeper here. It's not like really ideal. It's a really good draw. All right, drawing Archmage's Charm. I don't feel the need to Mystic Sanctuary back Cryptic as badly. Well, I like MTG teams, like team tournaments, but I think that like joining an MTG esports team, I've had a lot of friends who are like tournament grinders and have been reached out to by a MTG esports team, like some smaller ones who are really just trying to get almost anyone they can on the team to give them some like legitimacy, really is what's happening. And I have yet to see like any of these smaller teams do very much, if anything, for my friends that I've seen join teams like this. And I think that if you're a bigger player and you're on a good reputable team, it's good for you. But just being on a team to be on a team has little to no value and is often a waste of time, in my opinion, if that makes sense. Like getting on a Magic team does not mean that you've made it. And if you've made it, you can get onto a good Magic team, if that makes sense, in my opinion. Yeah, some people just want to say they have a sponsor or say they are on a Magic team to give them some degree of legitimacy, and that's fine. Everybody's looking to get different things out of Magic. But these are my thoughts on the matter. So we win if they have nothing, because we make a 1/1 shark, get back charm, steal this guy, attack them for 8 exactly. So now we could get got by Apostle's Blessing, so I suppose we'd get back Cryptic Command instead of Charm. Lost our fun Raveler. You know you're an MTG for the fame. Yeah, I think getting into MTG for the fame is probably not worth it. You know, I have a tiny monocle of MTG clout, and it's, you know, clout really isn't worth anything. Just kind of just air, really. Do the things you enjoy, and, you know, love the people important to you, and that's all that really matters. Have I ever stolen an 8-rack effect from an 8-rack player with charm? No, usually against 8-rack I just draw 2. But you know, that could happen for sure. Has a Batterskull ever been equipped to a shadow? I'm sure it has. In fact, maybe I've done it. Maybe not. Did I say monocle? This is not a pronunciation stream. No. This is only an entertainment stream. You'll never find any information that helps you out, or any... You won't get any smarter from watching my stream. You'll just be entertained. Triple Path is pretty good against this deck. I said tiny monocle. Monicum. That's what I meant to say. Maybe it was, you know, one of Freud's slips or something. Can a stream be more than one thing? Not this stream. This stream is just whatever you want it to be and nothing else, I guess. I kind of like using Field of Ruin this turn. Is that better than just cycling Shark Typhoon though? Maybe it is. Then we can play Prairie Stream, maybe double path and run them out of basics. Yeah, it's a Jace plus stream, a Shark Typhoon hardcast stream, a no joke stream. They're playing Lurrus for no value. It's pretty good for us. Swifty. Yeah, I don't have a second Plains in my deck, so I'll just take one, Field of Ruin them, and then path. Or maybe just path the Lurrus, keep Swift Spear in play for a turn. The Lurrus isn't... I mean, neither are doing a ton here. Okay, if they have Apostle's Blessing, I want them to use it now to not trigger Prowess. They are out of basics. What service bot do I sell MTGO cards on? Goatbots. I've used Goatbots for years and years and years. I think they have Apostle's Blessing. Maybe I'm crazy for not pathing right now. But I also feel like we can just go to 8. Does make our shadows bigger. Do you have an estimate for how much I make just from winnings, or is it net loss? I usually make a few $100 a month play Magic Online. I back when there was like competitive and friendly leagues, I'd usually like make like $500-600 a month. That was before I was streaming, I think. And I just kind of viewed Magic Online as being like kind of like a second job where I could just make some cash. That was before I was a streamer, I think. But once they made Modern Leagues all one thing, they cut the prize supports too. So it takes a lot more time to make money. I have made a decent amount of... I think the most I've ever made in a month for Magic Online is like... Oh no. Surgical Extraction. But I've made some decent money for Magic in my time. Which leagues did I play in the most? Always competitive. I never played a friendly league. It was just like so much more value. Hey, sure one. Yeah, I've been streaming for a while now. Yeah, I've just kind of lost touch from all the DFW MTG guys because of COVID, but good to see you checking in. But back when I didn't stream back when I was grinding paper with you guys. Why did they combine leagues? I don't know. Good question. Wait, they didn't get this path from my graveyard? I guess I've used both sanctuaries already. Maybe they saw that and said, whatever, you could just have it. Alright, so opponent's top decking. My game plan is to chump block the Shadow with my Stoneforge Mystic, make a 2/2 Shark, play an Equipped Sword, and kill them. This does lose to some cards, but if the card is a removal spell, we at least get a chump block with the Shark. Dead to TBR, dead to, other things. But not dead to a brick. And you beat a creature, beat most pump spells that aren't TBR. Yeah, beat that. Did I make money by playing leagues and selling chests? Yeah, I wouldn't open chests back then, but I opened them for the stream now. Oh, the path was on the stack when they cast Surgical. Good catch. Missed that. This hand is actually really good if we just draw a white source, but I'm going to mulligan. Let's keep this. I don't really like path in my opening hand very much. But I think I'll put back Cryptic Command. Open 2/3 of chest and leave some, maybe. I don't know. You know, Magic Online is, you know, no longer really something I view as a source of income, I guess. It just kind of is something I incidentally make money from, but, you know, this is my full-time gig. I want to make the stream content as good as I possibly can, and that's what I really care about. Certainly hoping to draw a land. I don't know what's in my opponent's hand, though. If they're mono white taxes and just no 1 or 2 drop, it's pretty weird. That's what it looks like. I hate pathing Stoneforge Mystic, but we might have to do it here. Isn't being a spike by definition maximum profits and win rates? Yeah, that's why I'm only aspiring. Pretty bad at it. Yeah, I changed the I know I changed the thumbnail. I had an old thumbnail for my YouTube thing, my icon, and then I changed it recently, and then it just went back to an A again. And I don't know why, and I haven't really tried again, but I do know that it's just an A right now. Maybe I misclicked something. These are, I believe, APAC lands. I don't really know what that means, to be honest with you. You really enjoyed the Dono deck elves yesterday. Awesome. I really like elves too. My first ever deck in Modern was Intruder Alarm Elves. Koki the Bear, 4 months in a row. Play more Hardened Scales. I did like that Hardened Scales league. I think this just resolves. I want to save the forces for the Batterskull, I think. What does my opponents keep? I think they kept 7. Did they keep 7? Yeah. They went turn 3 Stoneforge Mystic. They're thinking about playing something else. Maybe they have like a bunch of Flicker Wisps that they don't want to play for no value. Yeah, so the Intruder Alarm deck was really cool. So Intruder Alarm is a 3-mana enchantment. It's blue and 2 colorless that says whenever a creature enters the battlefield, untap all creatures. And it's a symmetrical effect, and it also says creatures don't untap during their controller's untap step. I think I have to counter this because the sword resolved. I think it's fine. And so the idea is, you know, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, and you have like your elves untap and they make a lot of mana, and you could also kind of combo with Beckon Call, which is the modern legal glimpse of nature, but instead of costing just 1 green mana, it's a blue and a green. But you get to, of course, just make a ton of mana, and you draw a lot of cards, do some stuff. Maybe I just was dumb for not forcing this. I'd like to draw a fetch landing, maybe get back Path or just Path. Okay, that works. I think I'd rather Path on their turn because we can make them kind of commit the 2 mana into the Archon. So I guess I didn't need to Charm now because once we path the Archon, we can cast a second spell. But yeah, the deck also played Forbidden Orchard, which you could tap to, you know, it taps for any color, and you give your opponent a spirit token, and that also triggers Beckon Call, because Beckon Call, you know, counts your opponent's spells or your any creature entering the battlefield on either side. And the deck was really, really fun. I played a ton of it. I really, really just loved the deck to death. And then the second deck I ever built was Grixis Delver in Modern, and I really liked that one too. And I won my very first PPTQ I ever played with it. And then I, on a whim, decided to take the deck up to GP Oklahoma City in like 2015, 2014 maybe. And I lost my winning into top 8 of my very first GP. And it was awesome. It was a really, really cool experience. And the winner of that tournament was Zach Elsick, who would later become a friend of mine. And I met a lot of people there that I'd later become really good friends with. I lost to Andrew Solano, who became, like my local tournament end boss for a long time. Yeah, but the Grixis Delver deck was so much fun. You could cast Tassiger on turn 2 and it was busted. If my LGS is creature heavy, is it okay to change a little bit? Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You should be very adaptable when you play these decks. This is something I talk about a lot, but when you play fair decks in Modern, mid-range, control, you need to have a very adaptable mindset, and you need to be able to change your list pretty quickly depending on what your meta looks like. So I absolutely encourage everyone, if your local meta looks different than the Magic Online meta, or if you disagree with something I am doing with this list, to change it and change it to how you think it's good. Really, really do encourage that. I think that the forces are, not very good, but kind of getting this hardcast force value is nice. We'll spreading seize all 8 of their planes soon enough. I do feel like a large portion of my audience is like washed up PPTQ grinders and F&M heroes, and I don't know. I personally am also a washed up F&M grinder. PPTQ grinder, F&M hero guy. So, I think that's why. Because I am you. Nothing wrong with that, of course. $10,000 hours of confirmed F&Ms. And that's what brings us together, I think. This is a safe space, a safe shelter for all of you. To ride the storms that is the world and the Magic world. Alright, what time is it, guys? Anybody know? Just here for Athena. That's a pretty good reason. She's here right now. You can see her laying next to the big hat. She has a routine where she gets her morning walk, and then she goes back to bed in the bed, and then she sleeps on the couch, and then she ends up her nap right here. It's hard cast Shark Typhoon time is what time it is. For those of you who didn't know. I think I'm going to play 2 Tails End and no Remand. Maybe Spreading Seas is bad. I think it probably is. Tails End is nice to counter Ghost Quarter, Field of Ruin. Thalia. The Flicker Wisp returns to play trigger could be good too, although I haven't done that yet. Some of these decks play Gideon in the sideboard too. It's probably a good clip rift. I mean, I also think that's why my chat is so nice. We very rarely have any problems. Well, I don't think Tails End is like great against them, but I think it's better than Remand. I've seen some people play a Magmatic Channeler. I think the card is like close to playable. I'll keep this hand. I think this hand's good against taxes, or good enough at least. Yeah, you always want to play your fetch lands first against taxes. Yeah, Nexus is mostly for the mill matchup, but I've also liked it against the Uro decks. Yeah, other blue piles too. Gonna get this. It's a little far away from entering untapped. Oh, I guess that's not true. I don't know why I thought this was also lean and Arbiter. It's fine. I'm one of the last streamers who plays entertaining decks. I don't know if I want to... I do think that I make good content. I appreciate you. There are also lots of good streamers out there. You know, Balsam, you may be right about that. In fact, you probably are, huh? Yeah, Mill is kind of popular in Modern with a lot of the new Zendikar cards. Just in time, Tail's End. I haven't seen a ton of Mill lately. It's possible that it's just not time. It's just time to get rid of the Mill sideboard cards. Yeah, we have enough. We have just all you know, non-fetch lands in hand. So I like, this is like a good ghost quarter for them, but we're just lucky to have, you know, another fountain here. And we can make our opponent tap their Giver of Runes, which is nice. I guess this is bad if they have Path, but they don't have Path. Or at least if they had Path, they should have already cast it. And then we get to attack and gain some life. I do appreciate the effort to make the stream joke free. Finally someone understands what the stream is really about. All serious, no jokes, winning all the time, getting angry if we lose. I want to play an untap land here so I can pay for Arbiter if they have a third Ghost Quarter. Okay. It's actually not that good here, right? Because they can't get the Germ or the Batterskull. It's fine. Can't Tails End, but I'm not even sure that I would want to. Okay, if we play Stoneforge, we can't tutor right now. We could Field of Ruin them. We could Field of Ruin their Silent Clearing if we wanted to. They only have one card in their hand. I feel like that exchange doesn't favor us, but just something to think about, I guess. Yeah, Batterskull is kind of just the perfect card against Skyclave, huh? Alright, if they sack the Relic now, I'll counter the draw. Won't do that if they do that end of turn. I'm looking to steal the Giver of Runes here with Archmage's Charm. Then the Batterskull is going to be tough for them to beat. It's fine, I think. Archon is a really good card. I've been super impressed by it so far. But is also beatable in this like specific spot. Probably just holding up mana here. We could, you know, pay for Arbiter and play Stoneforge Mystic. We could also pay for Arbiter and then Field of Ruin them and get them down to just 2 mana. But I think because we have Charm... Oh, and our land enters tapped. Just hold up Charm. Yeah, I forgot about this aspect of the card. Archon is really good. Archon is really good, I think. They also like are just dead to 2 more Germ token hits, so they're gonna have to start chumping soon. So we can Tails End the ETB trigger if we want. I'm just gonna counter. Could also, you know, Tails End the return trigger if we felt like they were gonna target their Apparition, but they were gonna target the Giver, I think. Teferi is interesting. Let's attack. I kind of think we're just holding up Tails End this turn. We'll see if they block or anything. Already lost our planes. Yeah, I feel like Tails End stops most stuff they can have here, with like the exception being Path to Exile. But we have Giver for Path, and then we can just give pro white next turn, and then attack. And we can even play Teferi first to play around Path. If we need it for fun, is redeemed a confidence boost. That's like the most misunderstood channel point option. Usually that's for me to tell you a deck you've made is good. Okay, there you go. Cool. Tell you this Shark token I designed is good. Okay. Exciting. It is good. No channel point redemption required. In fact, mods refund them. This is really good. No needs to pay 20,000 points for this. Love it. I love this sword too. Okay, so we 4-1 that league. Pretty nice. Pretty nice.